A new dawn broke over the Orion sector like a symphony of light and possibility. As the first rays of a synthetic sunrise stretched across the cosmos, humanity's sprawling colonies shimmered into view, vast luminous cities built on the edge of known space, their spires piercing a sky awash with the colors of distant nebulae and the promise of a fresh beginning. From orbit, the planet's surface mosaic told a story of boundless ambition. Colossal megacities pulsed with kinetic energy, their networks of glowing transit lines and aerial highways weaving through urban landscapes like streams of liquid starlight. Beyond these vibrant hubs, the silent silhouettes of ancient alien relics loomed, monolithic structures of mysterious origin that stood as solemn sentinels against the march of time. Their weathered facades whispered secrets of civilizations lost to the ages, hinting at wisdom and enigma that defied the ordinary. Amid the interplay of radiant technology and enigmatic antiquity, the indomitable spirit of humanity burned brighter than ever. These colonies, though young in the vast expanse of the universe, had blossomed into veritable citadels of creativity and innovation. Here, visionaries and pioneers had sculpted a future where the artistry of engineering merged seamlessly with the bold strokes of human ingenuity. In the silence between the celestial bodies, the hum of interstellar traffic echoed, a constant reminder of the delicate balance between order and chaos. Sleek starships, like silver arrows, pierced the void, each vessel a moving testament to humanity's relentless drive to push beyond the boundaries of the known. Soft pulses of communication bridged the gaps between remote outposts and vibrant urban centers, weaving a tapestry of connection that spanned the cosmic frontier. Within this awe-inspiring panorama, an undercurrent of tension began to stir, a quiet prelude to events destined to reshape the cosmos. The atmosphere, simultaneously serene and crackling with the promise of rebellion, laid the groundwork for a confrontation that would challenge the very fabric of established order. Here, amid the radiant glow of newborn worlds and the silent vigil of ageless stars, the destiny of humanity was being etched in light and defiance, ready to rewrite the future with every courageous heartbeat. Beneath the dazzling sweep of starlight, Captain Serena Drake stood at the helm of her starship, a sleek, defiant vessel bristling with potential and the scars of past skirmishes. In the quiet hum of the command deck, her steady gaze traced the expanse of space, where distant lights pulsed like the heartbeat of a restless frontier. Every blinking console and softly murmuring system spoke to her of a destiny larger than the sum of her battles, a call that resonated deep within her soul. A soft chime from the communications console broke her reverie. A coded transmission, layered with urgency and the undertones of rebellion, crackled through the speakers. Captain Drake, the voice intoned, laced with both hope and trepidation, the Council's decree tightens its grip on our worlds. We must act, before our freedom is sealed away in silence. Serena's jaw tightened as memories surged unbidden. In the flickering glow of a long-forgotten holovid, she recalled the days when hope was a scarce commodity, and every loss, every sacrifice had been etched into the tapestry of her past. She remembered the faces of friends lost in conflicts, the quiet resilience of those who refused to bow to tyranny, and the indomitable spirit that had always driven her forward. That spirit, kindled in the crucible of hardship, now burned with an intensity that refused to be quenched. "Gather the fleet," she commanded with a voice that was both gentle and unyielding. "Prepare for departure at once. Every ship, every crew member, let them know the time has come." Her words, delivered with unwavering resolve, ignited a spark that spread through the corridors of the vessel. Crew members exchanged determined glances, their eyes alight with the same rebellious fire that burned in their captain's heart. In the dim light of the bridge, a trusted officer stepped forward. "Captain, we have secured communications with the outer colonies. They're rallying behind your call, ready to defy the Council's iron will." The affirmation, simple yet potent, reinforced the bond between Serena and those who dared to dream of liberation. As the starship shuddered in anticipation of hyperspace, Serena's mind wandered briefly to her early days, a time when the weight of oppression was palpable, and the murmur of discontent was barely audible. She recalled the clandestine meetings in shadowed alleys, the secret exchanges of whispered plans, and the bittersweet hope that one day, humanity would cast off the chains of subjugation. Now, standing on the precipice of change, every memory coalesced into a single undeniable truth: this was the moment to rise. The command deck filled with the quiet symphony of activity as her crew readied themselves for the journey ahead. Each clatter of keys, every resonant beep of the navigation system, seemed to pulse in time with the collective heartbeat of a rebellion on the verge of awakening. With one final, lingering look at the star-speckled void, Captain Drake pressed forward into the unknown, determined to turn whispers of defiance into the roar of revolution. In that charged instant, as the starship surged forward into the cosmic night, the call to rebellion was answered, not with the clamor of war but with the resolute, unyielding echo of freedom. In the heart of the Galactic Council's vast, opulent chamber, a sanctum of age-old authority, where marble columns reached upward as if to embrace the stars, Admiral Zoreth Vex stood before an assembly of the universe's most revered and feared beings. The air was heavy with the weight of tradition and order, and every eye in the room was fixed on him, waiting for the decree that would shape the destiny of countless worlds. Vex's presence was as commanding as the ancient relics that lined the council's hall. His dark, steely eyes set beneath sharply defined brows revealed a mind honed on the cold calculus of power and the unyielding preservation of cosmic stability. Clad in a uniform that melded regal austerity with futuristic design, he exuded an aura of unwavering discipline. Every gesture he made was measured, each word chosen with the precision of a master strategist. Silence fell as he began to speak. His voice, deep and resonant, echoed off the lofty ceilings, carrying an undercurrent of both authority and foreboding. Today, we stand at the crossroads of destiny, he intoned, his tone leaving no room for dissent. The rapid expansion of human colonies, fueled by reckless ambition, poses a threat to the balance we have striven to maintain across the cosmos. Each word was deliberate, punctuating the air like the beat of a ceremonial drum. As he outlined the stringent measures designed to curtail the burgeoning human influence, the underlying threat was unmistakable, a warning that defiance would not be tolerated. His language was not merely a set of regulations, it was a proclamation of cosmic order, a declaration that the age-old traditions of the Council would stand unchallenged against the tide of change. Around him, the Council members exchanged measured glances. Some faces betrayed quiet apprehension, while others held firm in their resolve to uphold the sacred tenets of their society. Yet, even amid this stern assembly, a ripple of uncertainty began to emerge. The decree, while crafted to suppress the unpredictable nature of human innovation, also hinted at vulnerabilities within the seemingly implacable structure of interstellar governance. Vex's eyes, cold and unyielding, swept across the chamber as if to assert his dominance over both the space and the souls before him. "This is not an act of hostility," he continued, his tone unchanging, but a necessary correction, a recalibration to restore order where chaos threatens to encroach. His words, delivered with chilling precision, served as both an ultimatum and a solemn promise: maintain the established order or face the consequences that would ripple through the very fabric of the galaxy. In that moment, the chamber transformed from a hall of tradition into a crucible where the old world of cosmic governance clashed with the nascent, unbridled energy of human ambition. The decree was a double-edged sword, its blade forged in the fires of ancient authority, its edge sharpened by the relentless march of progress. And as the echoes of Vex's speech faded into the silence, the stage was set for a confrontation that would soon engulf the cosmos in a struggle for supremacy and freedom. In the hushed corridors of hidden war rooms scattered across the sprawling human frontier, the pulse of rebellion quickened to a vibrant rhythm. Under the flickering glow of holographic star maps and scattered digital blueprints, a clandestine meeting unfolded, a gathering of minds and hearts united by defiance. Captain Serena Drake, with her presence as magnetic as it was determined, led the charge from the front, her voice a clarion call against the oppressive silence imposed by the Galactic Council. In a dimly lit control center hidden deep within one of the outer colonies, commanders and strategists clustered around a vast, pulsating display of star systems. Here, the territories that had long yearned for freedom shimmered like scattered gems against the infinite void. Each light on the map represented a colony, a beacon of hope waiting to ignite a full-scale revolution. The room buzzed with energy, the low hum of fervent discussions merging with the steady rhythm of determination. "Every signal we've intercepted confirms it," one officer declared, his fingers deftly manipulating the holographic interface. "They're rallying. The colonies are waking up, ready to stand with us." His words resonated across the room, infusing a renewed sense of urgency into the air. The meeting wasn't just a strategic session. It was a tapestry woven with threads of shared sacrifice and the indomitable spirit of human ingenuity. Captain Drake stepped forward, her eyes blazing with the fire of unyielding conviction. "Our strength lies not only in our numbers but in our unity," she proclaimed, her tone both gentle and resolute. "Today we gather not as scattered voices but as one unstoppable force. Let each of our vessels become a symbol of resistance, a light that defies the darkness of suppression." Her words rippled through the assembly like a call to arms, binding each soul present with the promise of a better future. Around her, the room burst into coordinated activity. Messages were dispatched across encrypted channels, orders flowing like lifeblood into every corner of the human expanse. Each command was a pledge to reclaim autonomy, a vow to shatter the shackles of an unjust decree. As the crew prepared for the impending journey, there was a palpable sense of shared destiny, a moment where individual courage transformed into a collective roar against the oppressive silence of tyranny. In the quiet moments that punctuated the fervor, personal stories and silent hopes intermingled. An aging veteran recalled the bitter memories of past battles, his weathered face softening as he whispered promises of redemption to those who had lost their way. A young technician, eyes wide with the dreams of tomorrow, exchanged a knowing smile with a seasoned pilot, each glance a silent affirmation of their commitment to the cause. The gathering was more than a logistical operation. It was a heartbeat, a singular moment where the disparate elements of human civilization aligned with precision and purpose. Every plan was drawn with the careful strokes of both strategy and art, each decision underscored by the profound realization that their struggle was about more than territory or power. It was about the very soul of humanity, yearning to break free from the confines of a rigid cosmic order. In that secretive enclave of whispered plans and fervent determination, the fleet was assembled, an armada of hope ready to face the daunting might of the Galactic Council. As the last coordinates were transmitted, and the final preparations made, the room hummed with a unified resolve, a quiet, unassailable promise that the time for resistance had come, and nothing could stand in the way of a people united under the banner of freedom. In the endless black of space, where stars shimmer like scattered jewels on a velvet canvas, the moment of reckoning had arrived. As Captain Serena Drake's fleet surged from the interstellar depths, a meticulously orchestrated ballet of human defiance unfolded. Each ship, aglow with determined brilliance, leaped from hyperspace in a coordinated display of raw audacity, a maneuver designed to confound the calculated precision of the Galactic Council. The cosmos itself seemed to hold its breath as sleek starships, their hulls etched with the scars of countless skirmishes, darted and danced across the void. In a dazzling display of synchronized movement, the fleet arranged itself into a formation that was both a tactical marvel and a symbolic declaration of freedom. Vivid trails of light traced the paths of these vessels, each streak a testament to humanity's fearless spirit and ingenious resolve. Within the command bridge of her flagship, Captain Drake watched the unfolding spectacle with a cool, unyielding focus. The star-studded vista outside the viewports offered both inspiration and a stark reminder of the risks they faced. Her fingertips hovered over the control console, poised to adjust their trajectory at a moment's notice, as if in silent conversation with the void. "Maintain formation," she ordered, her voice slicing through the ambient hum of the ship's systems. The words were a blend of calm assurance and fierce determination, resonating with every crew member as they executed their roles with precision. Through the labyrinth of star charts and tactical displays, Drake's strategic mind traced every potential threat and opportunity, the dance of physics and chance intermingling in this cosmic gambit. On the adjacent bridge, tactical officers monitored the Council's response. Data streams and holographic overlays flickered with the enemy fleet's countermeasures, a silent counterpoint to the orchestrated chaos of the human maneuver. Despite the calculated threat looming ahead, the air was charged with an undercurrent of exhilaration. Each crew member was not just a cog in a machine, but a living embodiment of rebellion, daring to rewrite the rules of cosmic order. Across the void, distant flashes of energy and the shimmering glow of defensive shields began to outline the Galactic Council's fleet, a formidable wall of regimented power poised to intercept. But as the human ships wove intricate patterns through the battlefield, it became clear that Drake's plan was more than a desperate charge. It was a bold gambit, a masterstroke intended to exploit the inherent rigidity of the Council's formations. In the midst of this celestial theater, the silence was punctuated by bursts of communication, a symphony of tactical updates and spirited banter that underscored the intimate bond of the crew. Amid the calculated chaos, a young pilot's wry remark over the comm system sparked a ripple of laughter, briefly lightening the tension before duty reclaimed its place. For Captain Drake, the cosmic maneuver was not merely a tactical engagement, it was an artistic statement. Each maneuver, every calculated turn and feint, wove together a narrative of defiance and hope, a vivid portrayal of a people determined to seize their own destiny. As the fleet threaded through the enemy's projected lines of fire, the luminous arcs of their evasive paths created a spectacle of brilliant resistance, illuminating the void with the fire of human tenacity. In that charged moment, with the balance of power teetering on the edge of calculated risk, the cosmos itself became an arena of rebellion. The human fleet, resplendent in its unity and bold in its execution, prepared to etch a new chapter in the annals of interstellar history, one defined not by subjugation, but by the unwavering belief that freedom could be forged from the very fabric of the stars. In the heart of the interstellar void, where the boundary between order and chaos thinned to a whisper, two formidable forces converged. Amid the brilliant flares of starfire and the tense hum of energy shields, Captain Serena Drake and Admiral Zorath Vex found themselves locked in a high-stakes duel, not merely of weapons but of wills. Within the confines of their respective command bridges, both leaders stood as symbols. On Drake's side, the bridge pulsed with the soft glow of holographic maps and the murmurs of determined crew members, each heartbeat echoing the fervor of impending liberation. Across the cosmic expanse, Admiral Vex's chamber was a study in disciplined austerity, where every gesture and measured word reinforced the implacable. As human and council fleets maneuvered at the outer edge of known space, communication lines crackled with tension. "Adjust your vector now." Captain Drake's voice rang out, cool and unyielding, as she steered her ship through a field of energy barriers and countermeasures. In a simultaneous moment of cold precision, Admiral Vex responded over the encrypted channel, his tone both dismissive and commanding. "Maintain formation. Do not deviate. Order will be restored." Between these stark exchanges, the silence of space was punctuated by the crackle of distant explosions and the vibrant trails of laser fire. The duel took on an almost intimate dimension, as if the vast emptiness around them shrank to the size of their focused determination. On Drake's bridge, eyes met screens with a fierce resolve that betrayed the personal cost of defiance. Every command was laden with the memories of lost friends and the burning hope of a liberated future. Her crew, united by shared hardship and the promise of rebellion, responded with swift precision, their coordinated actions transforming raw technology into an art form of resistance. Meanwhile, Admiral Vex's calculated demeanor never faltered. Each deliberate word he uttered served to tighten the noose of order around the human insurgents. "You cannot hide behind sentiment," he intoned, his voice echoing in the austere corridors of power. "Your rebellion is as fleeting as the light of a dying star." His words were cold, each syllable meticulously crafted to reinforce the inevitability of cosmic order. The confrontation reached its zenith as both fleets entered a region where gravity wells and rogue asteroids danced in a deadly ballet. Here the physical battleground was as unpredictable as the philosophies clashing across the void. A human vessel narrowly skirted a massive fragment of space debris, its evasive maneuver a silent testament to the ingenuity that had carried them this far. At the same moment, a council cruiser executed a flawless predatory pivot, its actions reflecting the ironclad will of a regime that had grown accustomed to quashing insurrection. In the midst of this chaos, the two commanders shared a final fateful exchange that seemed to encapsulate the soul. "We fight not for conquest but for freedom," Drake declared, her voice imbued with both defiance and the quiet sorrow of sacrifice. Across the ether, Vex's reply was as chilling as it was resolute. "Freedom is an illusion. Order is the only truth." Their words carried on invisible. They were the embodiment of two visions of the cosmos. The ensuing moments, awash in the interplay of light and shadow, were as much a battle in the delicate balance between chaos and control. Every maneuver and every retort deepened the chasm that separated human aspiration from unyielding authority. As the battle raged on, the edge of space itself bore witness to this clash of titans, a dramatic confrontation where the fate of entire worlds teetered on the brink of transformation. In that crucible of cosmic defiance, both leaders, bound by their convictions and the weight of their responsibilities, propelled the struggle toward an uncertain yet inevitable turning point in the annals of interstellar history. In the sprawling darkness of space, where explosions of energy and flares of laser fire painted a portrait of chaos and valor, the clash between human defiance and galactic order escalated into an intricate dance of minds as well as might. The battlefield had transformed into a crucible where every maneuver was laced with both tactical genius and biting wit, a true theater of war where the pen as much as the blaster wielded power. On the bridge of Captain Drake's flagship, tension mingled with determination as crew members orchestrated their responses to the shifting tides of combat. Data cascaded over screens, mapping out enemy trajectories and identifying subtle vulnerabilities in the enemy's formations. Amid the crackle of intercoms and the hum of advanced circuitry, strategy meetings unfolded in real time, a blend of calculated decisions and impassioned debates that turned each moment into a microcosm of rebellion. "Delta Squad, adjust your intercept vector by 15 degrees, let's give them something to talk about," quipped a young pilot over the comm, his voice buoyant despite the gravity of the confrontation. Laughter broke through the tension for an instant, a fleeting moment of camaraderie that underscored the human spirit's resilience. It was as if each joke was a spark of defiance, a silent challenge to the oppressive force arrayed against them. Across the vast expanse, the Galactic Council's armada moved with the rigid precision of a well-oiled machine. Every cruiser and battleship responded to the iron will of Admiral Vex, their actions devoid of spontaneity, every calculated step reinforcing a system built on unwavering order. Yet, even in this mechanized display of authority, fissures began to appear. Drake's fleet had carved out gaps, small, seemingly inconsequential breaches that now blossomed into opportunities for the agile human combatants. As missile trails and energy beams crisscrossed the void, Captain Drake's voice cut through the static. "Remember, our strength lies in our unpredictability. Outthink them, outmaneuver them, and show them that freedom is not so easily contained." Her words resonated across the fleet, a rallying cry that was both a command and a declaration of faith in the collective ingenuity of her people. The interplay of tactics soon morphed into a contest of wits. In the heat of battle, communications became arenas for verbal sparring, where each side's sharp remarks served as both strategy and psychological warfare. "Your order is as cold as the vacuum of space." Vex's measured tone crackled through the channels, his words a calculated barb aimed to sow doubt and enforce compliance. In response, Drake's retort was swift and laced with a defiant smile. "And yet here we are, breaking free from your icy grip, one daring maneuver at a time." This verbal exchange, echoing through the corridors of space, was emblematic of the deeper conflict, one that pitted rigid, antiquated authority against the unbridled, spontaneous spirit of rebellion. In every pulse of defiant dialogue, in every flicker of improvised strategy, the battle transformed from a mere clash of starships into a profound struggle for the very soul of the cosmos. Amid the chaos, both fleets began to reveal their true colors. For the humans, it was not just about survival, but about affirming their identity as a people unafraid to challenge the status quo. Their every maneuver, every quip exchanged over the comm, was imbued with the hope of a future where freedom reigned. Conversely, the Galactic Council's forces, though formidable, exhibited a rigidity that soon became their Achilles' heel, a system unable to adapt to the fluid, unpredictable nature of true resistance. As the battle raged on, the interplay of strategy and wit reached a crescendo. The void between the colliding fleets seemed to shrink as each passing second carried the weight of possibility, a future rewritten by those daring enough to seize the moment. In that electric interplay of light and sound, of calculated risk and irreverent humor, the fate of countless worlds hung in the balance. In the midst of war, it was not only the brilliance of technology or the raw power of weapons that defined the struggle, it was the indomitable will of a people who dared to laugh in the face of tyranny, who found strength in their shared defiance, and above all who believed that in the battle of wits and war, the human spirit was an unstoppable force. In the stillness that followed the cosmic maelstrom, the battlefield of stars and shattered dreams slowly yielded to an uneasy calm. Amid the debris of spent energy and the soft glow of cooling plasma, Captain Serena Drake surveyed the remnants of what had been both a glorious clash and a defining moment for humankind. The starfields, once ablaze with the fury of conflict, now whispered a new promise, a tentative lull before the next surge of defiant hope. The fleet, though battered and scarred by the ferocity of battle, moved with a deliberate grace as it regrouped and set course for the heart of human space. In the hushed corridors of the flagship, the aftermath was palpable, a mix of solemn reflections and resolute determination. Crew members, faces illuminated by the soft ambient glow of console, exchanged looks heavy with the weight of loss yet kindled with the spark of possibility. Every quiet conversation carried the unspoken vow that this was not an end, but the dawn of something greater, a resurgence of the human spirit. Captain Drake retreated to her private chamber, where the panoramic view of distant nebulae and scattered constellations reminded her of the infinite canvas on which this new chapter was being written. In the solitude of that moment, memories of every sacrifice and every fleeting smile amidst the chaos converged, forming a mosaic of defiant hope. She traced her fingers along the star maps, envisioning paths that led not to the familiar comfort of conformity, but to uncharted territories where freedom could flourish without restraint. In the command center, encrypted channels buzzed with subdued excitement as distant colonies reported preliminary victories. Small rebellions ignited across the cosmos, each a beacon of resistance that challenged the ancient edicts of the Galactic Council. The murmurs of dissent, like the first strains of a symphony, grew louder with each transmitted message. They were whispers of a future where the chains of tyranny could be cast aside, replaced by the radiant promise of autonomy and the unyielding will to define destiny. Yet, even as hope surged anew, the scars of the confrontation served as a stark reminder of the cost of defiance. The air was thick with bittersweet memories of fallen comrades, their sacrifices etched into the collective heart of a people determined to reclaim their right to self-determination. Amid the quiet heroism and the silent grief, there bloomed an undeniable certainty that every act of rebellion, every carefully calculated risk had paved the way for a future where humanity could stand tall against any force that sought to diminish its light. As the human armada began its slow journey back to the bastions of freedom, a constellation of vibrant colonies determined to rebuild and reimagine, the cosmos itself seemed to hold its breath. The lingering glow of conflict gave way to the radiant promise of a new dawn. The struggle had transformed into a symbol of defiance, a testament to the enduring power of unity and hope. In that final, reflective moment, As the echoes of battle faded into the cosmic night, a profound truth resonated: the rebellion was not confined to the clash of starships or the sharp retorts of command. It lived in the hearts of every soul daring enough to dream of liberation, in every whispered plan to break free from the oppressive grip of outdated order. The future was unwritten, a vast expanse of possibility, where every act of courage illuminated a path toward a brighter, unbounded tomorrow. The spark of rebellion had been kindled, and its flame burned ever brighter against the endless canvas of the stars.